MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by The Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. All right, what's going on? What's going on? How we doing? Hope everybody had a good week. Been an interesting week. I'm a little get myself out of my ear. So I skipped yesterday. Just didn't get a good sleep and all kind of stuff. I think I put some notes in the journal yesterday, but I did have one day off. Kind of a much needed day off, but yeah, an interesting start to the day. Continued short off of the PPI news. Margins requirements are returned to normal for the discount brokers. Let me bring this up. A little pre-market volume check. Gotta remember to go back and put that in there. Put it right here. So we've been taking the stairs into the bear zone with the cheaper inventory. Spinel. Record some ambience and put it in this track. So change the figure out how I want to word this. We got previous daily inventory. We're at one now, around, let's just call it 1568, and below that one we got 14. I'm just gonna call it 850. These are zones, these are not specific prices. So I just need a rough number. Got about 3 minutes before the bell. Still dropping the session low. Good enough to get us going. Put this in the Discord. I do this, I put the stuff in the Discord for anybody that's may be curious. I put this in the Discord every single day with screenshots and the whole nine. Also, kind of a different variation on Twitter. Trying to incorporate threads and YouTube, what is it, community tab. And then when I checked, there was pretty much shared sentiment across the board. That's not the right. Across the index board. Everything pretty much trading with each other. But there will always be slight differences, but for the most part. ES, NQ, RTY, and YM has pretty much the same sentiment. Or the same structure. What am I trying to do? Mark off my volume gap areas, session low and the session high. They're gonna go ahead and mark off the low now. Nice inventory response off of 1580. "12 seconds before the open, or before the bell. Still dropping the low as we open up, get the RTA started. Still trying to get my screenshot in there. All right, here we go. to make sure I finished my pre-market checklist and did everything I was supposed to do. When I actually was kind of, I prepared early and did a lot of my setup last night, which is good because I did have it's always something. A little bit of pre-market distraction. Some last minute business to take care of. I'm ready to go now. So we dipped quickly. We dipped for a bit below that brief overnight session low. Now we're back at it. We traced back to the overnight low. The way that was painted, I mean, still possibly have the look below and fail. We'll see how the next few minutes print we get within the next few minutes. See a lot of buy fulfillment here at the overnight low.
Yeah.
You may hear me use some new terms. I'm always updating my dictionary, my trading dictionary. But everything, like all the terms that I try to stick around, like this typical marketing terms, like that you would, anything relating to just regular marketing, which for me personally does help me make better trading decisions and build different kind of strategies. So we're back inside that overnight range. Nice inventory response off of that 1560 area. This should get some buy. Trying to see how I want to frame this. Yeah, some buy excitement. It doesn't mean necessarily buy to initiate. Just, you know, you gotta could be to cover some losses for any shorts that try to go short off that session low. Could also be to cover some profit for any shorts that initiated in that 180 zone. Had some inventory, some last minute supply up there. Back into that supply area of 120. Seeing a supply response up here. Appreciate the like button, participation. Bringing inventory back near some A1 action. Main A1 is around 15,100. Just patiently waiting for one of my triggers, one of my setups to come. Or my main setup. I'm only really trading one setup in a moment. Or, yeah, for now. I like to stick to one thing. Strong buy fulfillment off that 1590s range. Inside of my main A1. Back to the overnight low. There's a quick short covering there. I can go back into those lows, maintaining the same frequency. Activity since like 8:45 did create a volume gap above 120. Not a strong volume gap, but we got this value area between 120 and roughly, just call it 1570. Looking at the top of our inventory zone. Around that 1576 area. Still a lot of buy fulfillment around the overnight low. Way that I see this is tradable. There are tradable opportunities here. Just depends on the strategy that is being applied. I haven't really had any triggers as of yet, but that's just based on my strategy. That there are opportunities that I can see. Because all the trader needs is price to go up and down. And then once you identify those opportunities, those up-down opportunities, then you can develop strategies around those. And it's then from there, just being consistent to that strategy. Only changing when necessary. It'll be like me when I started and I just changed for no reason. I had a working strategy. Thought I saw something better and then changed my strategy when I didn't have to and it was working. It ended up sending myself down a whole spiral of confusion and losses. And now in the end, it actually ended up like I went from there and learned a lot about the market and how markets operate, and learned a lot about myself, most importantly. But it would have been nice if I could have also did that and not screwed myself over by changing my strategy for no reason. Be lying if I didn't say that didn't feel personal. No, I know it's not. Quick budgeting there. And at 64 to this is called at 60s and 50s range. Quick lift of the supply. Got that overnight low. A little bit of budgeting up here at the overnight low. The way that printed on the micro scale would make sense to see that some shorts that get taken out there. Alright, I'm on this move back to the overnight low. I did get a couple stops hit. Get another supply response off of that overnight low. Making our way back to inventory. That 1560 inventory. Quick inventory response off of 66. Pushing deeper inside that 60 inventory zone. Session low is at 51. So looks like we're gonna take a minute to budget in this inside of this inventory zone. What most people would call a chop. Looking to see if they turn this inventory into supply. They've been maintaining the inventory. So I was looking at that 70 range. It wasn't a big order block. Looking for an order block up there. Didn't really see one. went back to took the supply back to the overnight low for a nice supply response. Did have a trigger that it didn't feel. Coming into my B-force break period, about 5 minutes before the B period. If I could be honest, this week has been somewhat other than yesterday, because yesterday if something could have went wrong, it went wrong yesterday. I got woken up early with my weather, and then had a brief power outage, kind of messed up my chart, so I had to reposition all my charts back on my computer and on the different monitors that I have, and a couple other things, and so I just decided once the market opened, I watched for like a few minutes, and I was like, I'm just gonna take today off. Not even gonna try to force it. But then outside of that, it's also been kind of frustrating with how the price action hasn't really been the best match for my strategy. And then, that's just as part of the business. It happens. The market moves in cycles. Sometimes the cycle's in favor of what you're doing. Sometimes it's not. It's just the nature of the environment, the nature of the business. A lot of times it does feel personal, but it's not. I can promise you that, because as good as you may be, or as significant as you are to yourself, there's a lot of participants in this environment that has to be also considered more than just you personally. And that's a reminder to myself more than anything. Because for as long as I've been trading NQ and just futures in general, there's always have been moments where how, I don't want to just use the word price action, keep using that word, but how the price action and how it's played out, how the days and the sessions have played out. It does come to, there are moments where it does feel like your strategy specifically is being attacked. Your movement in the market is specifically being attacked. Now there's a metaphysical layer to that, but which I won't go down that path, but sort of on the observer-based reality side of the game. And I won't go deep into it because it's something that I'm still studying and gaining more understanding about. So I don't like to speak on stuff or speak on things that I have just partial information about. I like to, before I speak on something, I like to have plenty of experience with it, a deep level of understanding. I don't want to, as much as possible, there will always be a level of ignorance, just from a point of not knowing, not being aware. You don't know what you don't know. But I try to minimize that as much as possible before I start speaking on things. Because personally, for me, one of my pet peeves is to see people see influencers speak on things, or people in public spaces speak on things that they haven't really put a lot of energy into understanding. So I try not to do that myself as much as possible. And in saying all of that, I forgot the original point I was trying to make. So still seeing this budgeting action around the overnight low, maintaining this range that we've pretty much been holding through our A period as we transition into B period within the next 40 seconds. But from everything that I just said, you can know that anything that I speak on, for sure, I've spent a lot of time thinking. Like I think deep on on things that interest me. So if I speak on it, I've taken a lot of time to think on it. That's a really interesting volatility spike there as we transition into B period. Ton of buy fulfillment taking us back into that overnight range. With the quickness within a second. So we should see continuation off of that. And if not, that should give us momentum to the other side below that overnight low. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Brings me back above MSRP. Potential inventory being developed there at 1590. I want to see a push above 108 to confirm that. Just me personally. So now we're starting to see, we are seeing continuation. Pushing the supply, finding supplier at higher prices. Going back into that volume gap. Into that volume gap. Above 120. Nice supply response. Back to A1. moment to budget. Seems like we got some inventory. Some volatility increase right here. See if that pushes us into higher supply. Not really pushing our way into higher supply, pushing the inventory, slowly pushing the supply, lifting the supply. There we go. Forgot my own phrases. Getting some self-fulfillment, taking us back to that. Did we actually get inventory down here? Yeah, we have had inventory down here around 110. Even though they did kind of mix things up a little bit there, I'm seeing the same frequency being maintained. So this may be another red day for me. That may be, on the way this is printing, I may not get another trigger within the time frame that I would want to. Drop that inventory to 104. I know at least one of my trades were kind of aggressive. So I did have to make a slight adjustment based off of what they were, off of the, the print for today, off of the frequency of the session. There's certain things that I'm looking at to kind of see, kind of use a term from Draymond Green when he talks about basketball as in the game within the game. Just looking at where participation is coming in, how heavy participation is coming in at certain areas, measured by the tick value that I'm using. Let's just say in this 400 to 500 tick value range. I can see certain patterns that tells me, that paints a frequency picture for me, and I see that frequency being maintained from my perspective. So of course I'm kind of being vague with how I'm expressing this, but it's because it goes back to the motto: all great trades come from within. So just because I see the market as being one way, just take it as a grain of salt and trust yourself over, everything else. The whole point of this game is to approach it with an edge, and your edge is gonna always come. Your true edge is always gonna come from within. Now, there are technical edges you can have, and you can't, get that from other traders. But in my opinion, if you want to get the most benefit from having an edge, the edge is you. So figure out how to apply the person that you are to this environment, or the best way for you to fit inside of this environment.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna make our way, slowly making our way back to the overnight low. That overnight low has been sort of a magnet for price this morning, for value. So they, found some more shorts to trap, or some loans to trap in this situation. And now we're gonna bring price back down. If you look at it from at least from a 3-minute perspective, I'm sure there's more ways to zoom in and out of that, but from a 3-minute perspective, you can see a clear failure to break out of a previous range. Of course, there were buys that happened up there. And those buys were taken. We're gonna bring it back down to some liquidity inside of our play area for a period. Coming back to that overnight low, back to MSRP. Gonna budget right off of MSRP. And with all that, we can see that price is still mechanical. The structure is still mechanical. So mechanical that I'm nowhere near a trigger. So I'm going to officially call it a day for myself. If I was to keep trading, I'll be looking to see if we maintain this range. I'll be looking at the highs and lows of the RTH range so far for the day, and see if we can actually, if we're gonna trend, I'll be looking more towards the upside. Now, of course, if we break the session low, there is a chance that it could trend, but that we can see a trend below the session low. I see the probability of that being the less likely, but it is possible. And then with this buyer participation this buyer fulfillment that we're getting now, kind of does build a case for us to continue lifting the supply. But again, that could just be another opportunity for them to trap some more buyers, or whoever them are. But I would just basically, at this point, be looking at the session high and the session low. Just to kind of get a sense of how volatile, or what the volatility is going to give us, or bring us throughout the session, or for the next potential move. All while not sticking to my strategy, maintaining my strategy, and all that good stuff. So on this push, we coming back to I was saying the session low, I'm at the RTH low, high and low. So come back to the RTH high. We're gonna push that, pushing the supply. Let's see if we maintain this momentum. I didn't get a single trigger in all of that. Starting to see that supply response as we made that new high. Keeping the mechanics alive. Definitely looking at that 128 area. It's kind of weak from my lens, but it can continue. We'll see. Another inventory response off of that 128. One more lift of the supply. Going back into another quick supply response, and we're just going to take the stairs as we continue to lift the supply into that volume gap above 140. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for myself today. Back above VWAP. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate all the participation, hitting the like button and all that good stuff. Hope you have a good rest of your session. Have a good weekend. Until next time, trade it easy.